All right. This is our first in-person yoga class since March.
Yay!
March 16th. We had yoga stretch on March 16th, and we did a hybrid class that night. So I'll go ahead and start in a seated position and just do some breathing, and then we'll get into our flow here. Just sit up nice and tall and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in and out. Just relax the space between your eyebrows, your jaw. Just let there be a little space between your teeth. I'm wearing masks a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I'm finding that I'm kind of clenching my jaw when I'm wearing a mask a long time. And I realize that when everything starts getting tight in the neck. And as we're breathing, I'm going to start with a reading tonight. We all go through times when we wish we could press a fast forward button and propel ourselves into the future and out of our current circumstances. Whether the situation we are facing is minor or major, such as the loss of a loved one, it is human nature to want to move away from pain and find comfort as soon as possible. Yet we all know deep down that we need to work through these experiences in a conscious fashion rather than bury our heads in the sand. Because these are the times when we access important information about ourselves and life. The learning process may not be easy, but it is full of lessons that bring us wisdom we cannot find any other way. So let's go ahead and bring our hands into heart center. Your thumbs finding your breastbone. Interlace the fingers, and then on an exhale, press your hands away, let your chin come down towards your collarbones, and then reach everything upward. And gently lean to your right side, and lean to your left side. Right side again. Left side. So I'm going to twist. Turning to the right side. Reach up and over. And up and over again. And one more time. And we'll go ahead and come onto all fours. I'm going to be sideways. Do some cat-cow, so have your hands under your shoulders, hips over your knees, and just draw the center of the spine out upward. And then just let it sink down. And arch. Just take that spine back and forth, rounding and arching. Inhaling and exhaling. Do that 2 more times. Rounding and arching. Rounding and arching. You come to neutral and just slowly swing those hips side to side. Wag your tail. Happy dog. And we'll do a few waist circles. Do about 2 or 3 each direction at your own speed. And then we're just going to reach those hands out, pull your hips back, come into child's pose. Reach and stretch, lengthen the spine. And we're just going to round it back into cat. Transition to downward dog. Tuck your toes under. Elevate those sit bones. Even if you need to bend your knees, really lift those sit bones. So you let your spine just go out of your pelvis. So off the dog, I'll take one knee to the other. Keeping those sit bones elevated. Lock your feet in between your hands, coming into forward fold. Make sure you have some support between under your hands if you can't quite reach the floor. And bend your knees and slow down your spine. Coming into mountain pose. I'm not close to you guys. I'm just facing you guys. You guys can go stay whatever angle. I'm going to go back and forth here. Let's move into some hearts and circles. Anything look up. Exhale, pull your hands down. I'll do that 2 more times. Spread the fingers. And then bring your hands into heart center. Just touch the thumbs to the breastbone, and we're just going to sit the hips back. Move the chair. Hold that. Angle your gaze out a few feet past your toes. And just reach your hands up. Come in the chair. And then we're going to go from there to forward fold. I'm going to turn back sideways. Flatten your back. Step back into plank. Use some sun salutations. Knees or toes. Stabilizing your shoulders and your core. Lower down. This first time through, just pressing into cobra. All the way to downward dog. Lifting the sit bones. Walk the dog. Bending one knee than the other. Keeping those sit bones lifted the whole time. And walk those feet back up on the mat. Come into forward fold. Slight bend in the hips and knees, unload your spine. Come back up to mountain. Back to Tadasana. Continue up with heart sun circles. Moving with your breath. We'll do that one more time. Again, bring your thumbs to the collarbones or the breastbone. Sit the hips back in the chair. And lift up.
Okay, those.
I thought you might be doing something. Fold over. All right, flatten your back, step back into plank. Stabilize your shoulders and your core. Keep your arms close to your chest as you lower down. Pressing into cobra. All the way through the downward dog. Lifting those sit bones. This time we're going to move into sun salutation V. So angle your right foot, step your left foot to the front. Then into warrior one. Hold that for a couple of breaths. Root through the feet. Extend through the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands back down. Step back into plank. Lower down. Cobra or upward dog. Press into downward dog. This time we'll angle the right foot, step the left foot to the front. Other side.
She'll get there.
That's okay.
It's been a while.
It is. I haven't done that many.
I was gonna say, long, many months. Just take your
Then
time.
bring it back down. Step back in.
I'm just waiting for you to pass out.
Well, I know, I want to still. Press in the cobra. And let's get you a long breath. Walk those feet to the front of the mat and then forward fold, Uttanasana. Slight bend in the knees, unload your spine. And we make our way back up to mountain. This time we'll just stand with our feet, big toes touching, second toe pointing straight ahead. Feel all 4 corners of both feet, your big toe mound, small toe mound, inner and outer heel. Lift your toes, feel your arches engage, and try to spread your toes, put them back down. Feel your leg muscles hug the bones all the way up to your hips. Gently relax the back of your pelvis and elevate your pubic bone. And then really feel like you're reaching your skull right through the top of your head. Arms are relaxed, just hanging down the shoulder joint. Breathe in and out. We're going to move into classical sun salutation, which is basically involving kneeling lunges. You guys will get to feel the softer mat under your mat, softer padding under your mats tonight. Lift up, fold forward again. Flatten your back. Step back with your right foot and then lunge. I can see you guys go that way. Hold that for a few breaths. Feel like you're pointing your tailbone toward the floor and you're feeling a stretch in the front of your right hip. Let's bring your hands down, take your back to under. Press that leg straight. Step both legs back, use your toes. Down to your belly. And again, pressing into cobra or upward dog. All the way to the downward dog. Lift those hip bones, lengthen your spine. And then we'll go ahead and step that right foot forward. Kneeling lunge with your left leg back. Really reach those fingertips. Feel like you're pointing your tailbone toward the ground. And bring it back down. Back to under. We're going to step the feet together. Pressing the forward fold. And bring your hands to your thighs. And use that extra support to unroll your spine. Come back up to mountain. Asana. And a couple of breaths. And rooting through those feet. Engaging those leg muscles against your bones. Reaching your spine to the top of your head. Do that one more time. Move on just another. Forward hold. Flatten your back. This time we'll step back first with that left foot. You have an option of keeping those toes tucked under. It's going to be a stronger stretch on the hip flexor and also potentially more pressure on your knee. And bring it back down. Do that lunge. Step back into plank. Knees or toes. Pull it down. Cobra. Into downward dog. On an exhale, step your left foot forward. If you need to get the right knee down first and then bring that leg forward, that's another way to get here. You end up in the same place. So that's an option as well. You can also keep your toes tucked under or go with the top of the on the ground. We've got a private lesson going on the other room. That's what we're doing. That's all that room's going to be used for now. Private lessons. Hands in. Get back to under. From your chest. And we come back to mountain. And actually, the lady who's doing the lesson tonight did teach yoga here a long time ago. Remember, did you ever take yoga from Teresa? She was like, yeah, she was, yeah. You might see her, yeah. She wasn't before she was like 2 instructors before that really dangerous one. Yeah. It's kind of, yeah. I know, it's kind of, yeah. So.
I don't think so. I try to think there's
There-
Kathy,
Right,
little wiry kind of redheaded.
right, yeah.
I remember.
And she left, and then there was one that came that,
That had gone to KU and majored in dance.
oh, that was Emily. Emily Copeland.
I-
And yeah, it was just interesting because I know Teresa had taught her way back when. So,
How you could hear?
yeah, benefit.
Oh, because I didn't do how, I didn't do how, I took yoga at night.
Yeah, it was, I mean, I wasn't really even, it was before I was even.
2008, maybe?
Might have been, it was
7 or
way,
8?
it was way back when, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that room, as you know, is so small now that we're just using it for private sessions, which is using it with a couple right now. We put there's another rope wall up and a Pilates corner in there, and yeah, all kinds of stuff, so. All right, well, let's move on here. We're gonna see how the old eagles are flying tonight. Eagle pose, Garudasana. Sit hips back. Let's cross your right leg over your left and have your right arm on the bottom. So you can either put your knees on your shoulders or intertwine your forearms. So if you need to put a toe down for a little more stability, go ahead and do so. And then just really think about broadening your shoulders and gently squeezing your upper arms away from your rib cage. You'll get it. You'll come back.
I
Yeah,
know
it'll
it's
come back.
back. It's in there
All
now.
right, bring it back.
Sorry.
We're just taking that first step back tonight. That's great. Yeah, I'm just glad that you can join us.
Oh, I am too.
Awesome. Step again. And then we just have to get a bunch of, cross that left leg over, left arm on the bottom. I'll probably have to get a bunch of mats out and kind of place them around and mark places. Make sure we fully utilize the space. I could see if we get at least another 6, that's not 6, another 4 or 5 people in here. And we could pull this, we can move those out of the way. Those don't move easily. Everybody's gonna want the cushy stuff.
Yeah.
This man's really cushy.
Isn't it nice? Yeah. And we may never go back to anything else. All right, bring it back. All right. Let's just go ahead and let those arms hang down at our sides. We'll bring our fingertips together. We're gonna step our feet apart to a wide-legged stance. And then turn your right toe out. We're gonna warrior 2 sequence here, bending that right knee. And the main thing is to make sure your front knee isn't collapsing inward. Just hold that. Look out over your front hand, just breathe.
There's nobody's.
Huh? Oh. Well, Marilyn's just shooting you a dirty look over there.
So
She's just already kind of giving you an eye roll, which.
she
All right.
takes normal.
Let's come into a reverse warrior. And then a side angle. Let's do this a little slower tonight. Back to reverse warrior. And side angle. We're probably not really going to provide props anymore, maybe even
I have my own.
the blocks, yeah. You bring a block, and I got some more blocks I can sell, either used ones that haven't been touched in 6 months, or I have some new ones for sale too, so. I don't know how much sanitizer those things can take before they start dissolving. All right, come back to warrior 2. And stretch up overhead. Take the hands back out to the side, turn your other toe out. Let's go the other way. So look around, look down, see where your toes are, see if your knees line up with your second, third toe. What are you feeling in your hips? Turn your front palm up. And then dancing warrior, reverse warrior. Into side angle. Back and forth. I'll tell you the piece I gotta get my music. I thought it would play on that speaker, but I don't have the right connection.
Not music like we had last time.
Yeah. And come back to center. And relax those arms down. Come all the way down into a wide-legged forward fold. And just shift the hip side to side by bending one knee to the other. Mobilize the groin muscles. Come back to center. Press your hands into your thighs, unload your spine. Stretch up overhead. So the second time through, we're going to work through triangle. So your feet may need to be a little bit closer. Turn that foot out again. And just think about having a little bit of lift of the rib cage as you go sideways. Then eventually finding a place to place the hand. We're not putting weight into our hand. It's just a locator. Try not to collapse the bottom side of your torso. And also engage your thigh muscles so you're not pressing that knee backwards. This is a stand freckle. And then we're just going to squeeze our feet into the ground as if we're trying to slide them apart and lift back up. All 10 toes to the front. Turn your left toe up, other toe up. And reach. Extend sideways. And one thing that's gotten really messed up during quarantine is my mirroring skills, where I'm saying left when I want you guys to go. When I'm saying left, I'm using my right side because I'm supposed to be mirroring you guys. Because on Facebook Live, my right was the audience's right. Squeeze into those legs again. Lift up. Put the thumbs overhead. We're going to come back to that wide-legged forward fold. Just let your head hang upside down. There's a little bit of inversion here, even though we're not, you have to be in a head and into inversion. Push your hands on the mat. And we're going to make our way down to the ground.
One thing we don't have in here is fans.
What was that?
Fans. Remember how we used to have fans
Oh,
in the other room?
yeah. All right. Rounding, arching. And then we're going to go ahead and just walk these feet through. We'll do a little more forward from both pose tonight. So we'll start by just rocking the pelvis. See that? So I'm just gently touching my legs for just a tiny bit of support, and then just tuck my tailbone under, rolling the back of my pelvis, and then I'm pushing my sit bones into the ground, lifting my chest. So just basically like a cat-cow action with your spine. We're just sitting up instead of being on all fours. Do that one more time. And then just keep your spine straight and release your legs. Come into both pose, feet on the floor or elevated. Keep breathing. And tip back up. And as you come up, we're going to slowly reach the torso out over the legs, which will tell you how much you were using your back, what we just did. And come back up again. Go directly into it this time, so go ahead and see if you can lift your legs first, if you're doing that. And then letting go is more the option this time. You still feel like you're gently lifting the collarbones and the breastbone, keeping that spine supported. bounce it back forward, relax. Stretch out over your foot, over your legs, your torso reaching forward. And come back up. All right, so we're gonna just take those legs side to side a few times. We never do happy hips in yoga, so don't worry about that. Because that's Pilates, not yoga. And then just pointing both of your knees to your right side. So if it's your right leg on top, turn and reach your left arm across and just you're spiraling your spine. So you spiral it right up where you're looking over that. It'd be your left shoulder, my right. Not my right shoulder. The back shoulder. I'm still a hot mess with that stuff. You think I just started teaching less. Relax. Let's take this leg that's in back and cross it either inside the knee or across the knee. We're going to come into War of the Fishes. So get the hips starting to release before you start to put the arms in place. So I'm just going to stay on the side I've got on top. I've got my right leg on top. So whatever leg is on top, that arm reaches back. And your opposite arm, stretch it up to the ceiling first and get some extension out of the rib cage. And then just let it come down and tuck in. So your opposite arm against the leg, using that leverage to turn your rib cage and look over that back shoulder. And just try to really relax and soften the hips, melt the hips. Breathe in and out. Another trick, I'll be figuring out how low I can go with the lights and still be able to get video. I think maybe I know. I know they make those ring lights. I haven't gotten one of those yet.
I throw some dummy over there and I thought.
And relax. Take this leg all the way around. And then we're just going to flip them. Get them pointing the other way. And we'll start to go ahead and continue in that direction with our torso. So if you're spiraling right out of your pelvis. And release. Pick up that back leg, bring it either inside the knee or across the knee. If you have to tip your body weight over to get it crossed like this, and go ahead and stay here. If you have a block hand, you can stick it under your hip. That's another way to deal with that. And since I've got my left leg on top, I'm going to reach my left arm back, same arm. Opposite arm stretches up, and then it's going to come down and just tuck in, and then push into that leg. Use that to turn the upper body. Pull that shoulder blade away from the spine. Deep breathing. Exhale and unwind. All right. And cross those legs. And keep it straight out in front. Do a little shake and then do a staff pose. So you want to make sure your torso can be straight up and down. So if you have to bend your knees to get that torso straight up and down, do so. Because you're probably still feeling the hamstrings. You look like you sit up straighter with your legs.
No.
You look like your hamstrings aren't as tight.
You're always tight.
I know, but you're not leaning back as far as you used to. I mean, without bending your knees, yeah.
Yeah. Usually I gotta bend my knees.
Yeah. And then just push your chest forward. Maybe it's just because of the angle you're at. You look like you're sitting up straighter. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna tip onto our back from here and get rid of the hat. It'll fall off anyway. So hug your knees and come onto your back. And we're gonna come back and right into that staff pose and do a reclining staff pose. So you're just gonna straighten your legs toward the ceiling now instead of out on the floor. And the nice thing about being on the floor is your back is gonna be kept flat just because of where it's placed. So go ahead and just flex your lower leg muscles, so you're pulling your toes towards your knees, engage those lower leg muscles. Gently support your legs. Breathe in and out. And then we're just gonna let the knees open, and we're gonna come from a reclining staff pose into a reclining cobbler's pose. So you use your arms and just use to press your legs open. Feel like you're broadening the back of your pelvis. You guys have yoga straps too, or?
I do.
Oh, yeah, I've got 4 of those, and those can always go in the washing machine pretty easily too. I think I can handle getting sprayed with an alcohol solution. All right, so bring your legs back together and hug your right hand toward your chest, but send your left leg along the mat. Do a hip series and then move back into kind of a modification of the series you can do with the straps that we have. So just use your hands and just circle that leg. The leg isn't moving on its own. Your hands are moving it, creating the motion. Do a few revolutions each way. And then just go ahead and straighten that leg and start to support or even pull on the back of the thigh. Gently let it start to shift towards your head. You want to go deeper. Anytime you go deeper in the stretch, do it as you're breathing out on the exhale. And slowly circle the foot. 3 or 4 revolutions each way. Just and then ankle over thighs. Let that knee bend about 90 degrees. Open your arms out to the side, and we're going to let that leg start to reach across toward the other side. So you want to keep enough engagement in your core that you're not putting too much torque into your spine. You've got to be mindful here. Even if the knee's not rolling over quite as far. You also have the option, if you can do so, if you can stretch that leg out and actually have the leg by the floor, then that is an option as well. So, don't look around and see what anybody else is doing. Just do what's feeling good for your legs and your hip. And your back. And bend that knee, roll back onto your back. And we're going to take that leg down, cross it over your left leg. So your other leg is going to stretch out on the floor. Now we're going to cross it over and do that reclining pigeon pose. we shift that support leg to get a better stretch. Then you have to stay in one place. And release and across. And we're just gonna come into corpse pose briefly, just so you can feel the two sides of your body. It's not gonna be as dramatic without the strap hold. You still may feel some shifting and stretching here. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and take the left leg out of the way. And we're just gonna do those passive leg circles, which means the leg is passive, the hands are moving the leg. Just circle that leg 3 or 4 times each way. This is a good movement to do if you wake up in the morning and your hips or even if your knees are a little stiff. Just gonna kind of get things moving and get things mobilized before you can get up. Go and straighten that leg as much as you can. Support the back of the thigh. Cut on that leg, pull it towards your head. Smooth your ankle circles. 3 or 4 each direction at your own pace. And bend that knee and open your arms out to the side. And just let that leg reach across your body. Enough to get a good stretch through the side body, but not so much that you're overstressing your spine. You also have the option of stretching that leg out and reaching the foot to the floor. Really just go by what you're feeling in your hips and in your back. Make sure you can relax into the pose. If you're fighting yourself, you might need to back off a little bit. And then that knee will roll onto your back. And we're going to come into that reclining pigeon pose. So that leg that just reached across, now it's going to cross on top of the support leg to stretch the hip. And just go ahead and uncross your legs. And we'll come back into corpse pose again, where you're just laying on your back, your arms just like your torso and your body. Breathe in and out. And go ahead and walk your feet in so your knees are bent. And we're just gonna start to, we're gonna do a little bridge up here where we tuck our shoulder blades under our back. Let our hands clasp under our hips as we lift our hips off the floor. And just feel like you're lifting your collarbones towards your chin as well. Do a little throat lock here.
Breathing it out. Also engage your feet with the mat as if you're trying to slide away. It gives you a little more support through the hips. Take one more breath, breathe into that belly. And let your hands separate and slowly bring the hips down. And then come back into that reclining posture. Brace against those legs, inner arm or forearms against those inner thighs. And press your legs toward each other. And just hang on to the back of your thighs. Tip yourself back up to a seated position. We're going to do one more upright stretch. Just take your right leg and place it anywhere alongside the inner thigh or left. Just want to get a little side bend here too. So turn your chest towards your bent leg. And I'm actually kind of pulling this hand into the mat and pushing. I'm getting a little extra help with the twist from my hands and the mats. And then just reach sideways down that leg, and the other arm reaches overhead. And think about extending out over that leg, not just falling sideways. Lift up. Bring your chest around, line it up with that thigh, and just lean down over that leg. Push yourself back up. And we'll go to the other side. So straighten your bent leg, bend your straight leg. And then again, that can be anywhere along here. It doesn't have to be tucked in real tight. Turn your chest toward that bent leg. Just a little bit of a lean into that side. And just reach that arm down that leg, and then the other arm stretches overhead. Side bend. And come up and realign your chest with that leg. Press your chest in that direction. And come back up. Give those legs a little shake. And we'll go ahead and transition into Shavasana. So the thing with Shavasana is to make yourself comfortable. And I'd suggest maybe having your knees bent and just laying on your back. And on your side, you can always pull your bed over the lights at the wall. You go ahead and turn out all the lights will go out except one. We've got one magnet that stays on. So. Completely dark. Just bring your awareness back to your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. ease yourself out of Shavasana slowly and gently. Even rolling to your right side, pausing before you come all the way up. And we'll close with this thought. When you feel the urge to press the fast forward button, remember that you are not alone. We all instinctively avoid pain, but in doing so, we often prolong our pain and delay important learning. As you choose to move forward in real time, know that in the long run, that this is the least painful way to go. Namaste. Thank you.
You survived.
You're right. And the air tried to come on, I was like,
I wasn't even breathing. I mean, I breathed out,
uh-huh.
and then I just held it.
Oh, wow.
It was a wonderful feeling. I mean, probably my heart slowed down.
I probably got, yeah, you can, with breathing, you can, absolutely can. Yeah.
Oh, that was wonderful. Is it every Wednesday night?
Yeah, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be, yeah, this is when this class is gonna have to be, because I was trying to do yoga. I'll go ahead and end that.